So guys, let us start now with the fourth part of this chapter, that is ground improvement techniques. The ground can be improved by adopting certain improvement techniques. Vibrocompaction increases the density of the soil by using powerful depth vibrators. Vacuum consolidation is used for improving soft soils by using a vacuum pumps. Preloading method is used to remove pore water over time. Heating is used to form a crystalline or glass product by electric current. Ground freezing converts pore water to ice to increase their combined strength and make them impervious. Vibro replacement stone columns improve the bearing capacity of soil, whereas vibro displacement methods displaces soil. Electroosmosis make water flow through fine grained soil. Electrokinetic stabilization is the application of electroosmosis. Reinforced soil steel is used for retaining structure, sloping walls, dams, etc. Seismic loading is suited for construction in seismically active regions. Mechanically stabilized earth structures create a reinforced soil mass. The geomethods like geosynthetics, geogrids, etc. are discussed. Soil nailing increases the shear strength of in situ soil and restrain its displacement. Micropile gives the structural support and used for repair replacement for existing foundation. Grouting is injection of pumpable material to increase its rigidity. The jet grouting is quite advanced in speed as well as techniques when compared with the general grouting. Rapid urban and industrial growth demands more land for further development. In order to meet this demand, and land reclamation and utilization of unsuitable and environmentally affected lands have been taken up. These hitherto useless land for construction have been converted to be useful ones by adopting one or more ground improvement techniques. So let us starting with techniques. Very first one is advanced piling techniques. Ground improvement techniques such as stabilization, vibroflotation, dynamic compaction, stone column compaction, pile and compaction, grouting are given the maximum importance in present days to adapt weak soil into proper stable ground for different civil engineering projects. In this, very first and ever growing method is stone column method. So talking with stone column method, stone column ground improvement involves adding vertical columns of stone into the ground to a depth of at least 4 meter below the ground surface. A layer of compacted gravel can then be put over the top of the column, ready for construction of new house foundation. The stone column method is quick to construct and can be done at any time of the year. It is a ground improvement technique used to improve the load bearing capacity and reduce the settlement of the soil. It is also called as granule column or granule piles. This technique is also known as vibro replacement. In this technique, dense aggregate column is constructed by means of crane suspended download vibrator. Stone columns are constructed in soil to increase the load bearing capacity of the native soil. The upper portion of the compacted granule column is provided with a rigid central core such as vertical load imposed on the composite column are transferred to a cheaper level on the compacted column where the column operates more efficiently. A probe is penetrated downwards into the compacted granular column and the resulting cavity is filled with cementitious grout to form a solid core after hardening. The grout may be injected into the cavity so formed in the compacted column at the bottom of the probe. As the probe is being withdrawn in predetermined quantities metered in synchronization with the rate of withdrawal of the probe from the core cavity. Here are some functions of which uh, installation of stone pipe column improves ground by reducing soil settlement. Due to its higher modulus of elasticity than that of soil, it absorbs more load than soil and reduces overall settlement. Since applied load distributes in between soil and stone column in the ratio of their stiffnesses, the load carrying capacity of soil also increases. Stone aggregates are used to fill stone column. Water can easily pass into the stone column, so stone column helps in excess pore water pressure mitigation and accelerates the consolidation process. The very There are two methods in it: displacement method and non-displacement method. In displacement method, this method boring is done by displacing nearby soil. The soil is displaced laterally, due to which engineering property of soil gets changed. Hole can be made by driving casing or tube into the ground. Best example of displacement method is vibro float method, which is being used widely. It is done by two methods: wet top feed method, dry bottom feed method. And second one is non displacement method. In this method, boring is done without displacing nearby soil, although there will be some displacement that can be neglected. Example, bore ram method. The advantages of which is reduced total and different settlement, increases the bearing capacity of strata to make possible to use shallow foundation, hence saving more time and money, accelerates the rate of consolidation in cohesive soil by providing drainage to water. The second modern technique is vibroflotation. Vibroflotation is a ground improvement techniques used at a considerable depth, that by using a powder electrically or hydraulically probe, it strengthens the soil. The vibroflotation will compact the soil, making it suitable to support design loads. It involves the introduction of granular soil to form interlocking columns with surrounding soils. The technique is used to improve bearing capacity and reduce the possibility of differential settlement that might be allowed for the proposed loads. Sometimes it is also referred to as vibrocompaction, and the ultimate concept is to repack soil particles by joining them together, improving soil's bearing capacity. The compaction of soil can be obtained in the soils as deep as 200 feet. The risk of liquefaction and in an earthquake prone area is also drastically reduced. This is the image showing the concept of vibroflotation. Vibroflotation techniques can be distinguished between three: vibro compaction method, vibro replacement method, and vibro displacement method. In vibro compaction method, in this method allows granular soil to be compacted. This method is only used to compact sandy soil. Vibro replacement method is used to replace poor or inadequate soil material by flushing out the soil with the air or water and replacing it with granular soil. This can be used in various soil types such as clay and sandy soil. Vibro displacement method, the procedure is used with number of small amount of water used during the technique. The probe is inserted into the soil and it will be displaced it laterally as a new soil column is being formed and compacted. Here are the advantages of vibroflotation. When the process is done properly, it will reduce the possibility of differential settlement that will improve the foundation condition of the proposed structure. It is the fastest and easiest way to improve soil when bottom layers of soil will not provide good load bearing capacity. It is a great technology to improve harbor bottoms. On a coast related standpoint, it helps improve thousands of cubic meters per day. It is faster than a pilling. It can be done around existing structure without damaging them. It does not harm the environment. It improves the soil strata using its own characteristics. No excavation are needed, reducing the hazard, contamination of soil and hauling material out from the site. No need to manage stable water issues. Neither the permits required to manage water discharge and dewatering issue. The techniques of vibroflotation can be adapted to each scenario and site. When vibroflotation is performed at the site, it will reduce the possibility of liquefaction during an earthquake. Here is the new technology comes in point of view, which is micropiles. Micropiles are small diameter piles up to 300 mm with the capacity of sustaining high loads. compressive loads all over 5000 kilonewton. The drilling equipment and the methods allows micropiles to be drilled through virtually every ground condition, natural and artificial, with minimal vibration, disturbance and noise at any angle below horizontal. This equipment can be further adapted to operate in locations with low headroom and severely restricted access. The present innovation relate to a method of joining a micropile with an existing structure, and more particularly to add a basic reinforcement according to the occurrence of additional load due to the settlement, flotation or extension on of an existing structure, which is used for ground reinforcement in civil engineering and construction. The present invention relate to the method of combining micropiles with existing structure is construction of micropiles that can be constructed in general. The construction method for reinforcement uh, micropiles according to the present innovation include drilling a hole for inserting micropile into the foundation concrete, drilling a hole for inserting micropiles in the foundation ground, inserting the micropile into the holes drilled in first and second one as I said, grouting or filling cement, milk or mortar up to foundation ground, expanding a portion of perforated hole in the base concrete in the circumferential direction, fastening the load transfer member and filling the whole of the foundation concrete with the cement, milk and mortar. This is how micropiling is done. There are certain advantages of micropiles includes they are small and relatively light. They are relatively inexpensive. They can be installed through almost any ground condition, making them suitable for installation in environmentally challenging conditions such as for wind turbine towers. The limited vibration and noise causes little disturbance. Piling rigs can be low emission or even electrically driven. They can be installed while avoiding existing utilities, meaning that expensive utility rerouting is not required. They can be installed close to existing wall with limited headroom and congested site condition. They have a high load capacity and an ability to resist compressive, tensile and lateral loads. Here are some applications of micropiles for ground improvement, for structural support and stability, foundation for new structure, repair, replacement of existing foundation, arresting, preventing of movement, embankment, slope and land stabilization, soil strengthening and protection. The next modern technique is soil nailing. Soil nailing is a ground stabilization technique that can be used either on naturally or excavated slope. It involves drilling hole for steel bars to be inserted into slope face with are grouted in place. Mesh is attached to the bars end up to the slope face in position. They are commonly used as a reminder measure to stabilize embankment, levees and so on. Other application of soil nailing include temporary excavations, shoring, tunnel portals, roadway cuts, underbridge abutment, repairs and reconstruction of existing retaining structure. The main consideration of deciding whether soil nailing will be appropriate include the ground condition, the suitability of other system such as ground in anchors, geosynthetics material and so on, and cost. Although soil nails are versatile, can be used for a variety of soil types and conditions, it is preferable that soil should be capable of standing without support to the height of 1 to 2 meter for no less than 2 days with a cut vertical or near vertical. Soil which are particularly suited for soil nailing includes clays, clay silt, silty clay, sandy clay, glacial soil, sandy silt, sand, gravels, etc. Here are some here you can see the picture of soil nailing which is have actually happened at this site. Here are some design consideration. Strength limit, the limit state at which potential failure or collapse occur. Service limit, height and length, vertical and horizontal spacing of soil nails, inclination of the soil nails, ground properties, nail length, diameter, maximum force, drainage, frost penetration, external loads due to wind and hydrostatic force. Here are some advantages of soil nailing. They are good for confined spaces with restricted areas. There is less environmental impact. They are relatively quick and easy to install. They use less material and shoring. They are flexible enough to be used on new constructions, temporary structures, on remodeling process. The height is not restricted. Here are some limitations of soil nailing. They are not suitable for areas with a high water table. In soils of low shear strength, very high soil nail density may be required. They are not suitable for permanent use in sensitive and expensive soil. Specialist contractors are required. Extensive 3D modeling may be required. Here are some applications of soil nailing: stabilization of railroad on highway cut slopes, excavation retaining structures in urban areas for high rise building and underground facilities, tunnel portals in steep and unstable stratified slopes, construction and retrofitting of bridge abutment with complex boundaries involving wall support under pile foundation. Moving further to vertical drains, this techniques involves the installation of artificial drainage path or vertical drains into soft compressive soils. The prefabricated vertical drains (PVD) and sand drain used by for specially designed to work effectively under high settlement. In this first type of vertical drain is sand drain. Vertical sand drains are used as an effective techniques for construction of structures such as oil or gas storage tanks or airports, seaport, harbor works or highways or railways embankment or dam over highly compressible soil. The principle of sand drain is to provide additional vertical drainage faces in the form of cylindrical holes fitted with clean sand. Structure constructed over highly compressible soils, soft marine clay deposits suffer very large consolidation settlement which have the potential to cause serious damage or failure or such structures. Such soils located in the coastal regions such as Mumbai, Kolkata, Visakhapatnam and others extend to large depth up to 15 to 25 meter or more. Pile foundation may not be an effective solution for such conditions. The surface of such soil deposits is so soft that it is difficult to use heavy construction equipment for construction of structures over such soils. The progress of construction is often delayed or halted for several weeks, shooting up the project cost if conventional foundation techniques are used in such soils. Compacted embankment are usually constructed over such soil to prevent a hard surface for construction and also to minimize the differential settlement. An ideal solution for this type of problems is to accelerate the rate of consolidation such that the potential settlement are completed before the construction of the structure. Sand drain is based on principles of rapidly and centrally dewatering the system. This is how sand drain works. The principle behind it, uh, sand drain is a process of radial consolidation which increases rate of drainage in the embankment by driving casing into the embankment and making vertical boreholes. The holes are backfilled with suitable grade of sand. Construction driving casing is withdrawn after sand has been filled. A sand bucket is placed over the top of the sand drains to contact all sand drain. Here is the construction process of sand drain. The sand drain installed below the embankment. A sand layer of 50 to 60 centimeter thickness is initially laid over the soft soil that not only serves as a drainage layer for the soft soil but uh, at top but also provides a working platform for construction of both sand drain as well as embankment. The sand layer also serves as a graded filter between the soft soil and the embankment and prevents loss of embankment material into the soft soil. The embankment is built up to some height above the sand layers to facilitate partial consolidation of the soft soil. This facilitates the soft soil to gain some shear strength to support and sustain the sand drain. However, full height of the embankment is not constructed in a single stage because of soft soil will not have sufficient shear strength to support the embankment, in which case the embankment will sink into the soft soil. After the embankment is constructed up to some height, the sand drain are installed. A circular casing or hollow steel mandrel of about 25 centimeter internal diameter and 6-meter height is driven vertically into the soft soil up to the required depth through the embankment and sand layer. Here are some advantages of sand drain. Provision of sand drain allows drainage of poor water in the radial direction in addition to the drainage in vertical direction. Since the permeability of soil in horizontal direction is usually several times longer than that in vertical direction, the rate of consolidation becomes considerably faster compared to conventional soil system. With faster consolidation, the soil gains shear strength rapidly, allowing faster pace of construction and thus reducing the project cost. The long-term stability of structure is also increased significantly as the potential settlement are completed mostly before or during the construction. Sand drains avoid potential problems during construction in soft compressible soils. The next very famous technique is prefabricated vertical drains. Prefabricated vertical drains are composed of a plastic core encased by a geotextile for the purpose of expanding consolidation of slow draining soils. They are typically coupled with the surcharging to expedite pre-construction soil consolidation. Surcharging means to preload soft soils by applying a temporary load to the ground that exerts stress of usually equivalent or greater magnitude than the anticipated design stress. The surcharge will increase pore water pressures initially, but with the time the water will drain away and the soil voids will compress. These prefabricated wick drains are used to shorten pore water travel distance, reducing the preloading time. The intent is to accelerate primary settlement. Pore water will flow laterally to the nearest drain as opposed to vertical flow to an underlying or overlying drainage layer. The drain flow is a result from a pressure generated in the pore water. This is how your prefabricated vertical drains are working. Here are some advantages of PVD. Decrease overall time required for completion of primary consolidation due to preloading. Decrease the amount of surcharging required to achieve the desired amount of pre-compression in the given time. Increase the rate of strength gained due to consolidation of soft soil when stability is of concern. Comparison to stand drain, economic competitiveness, fewer disturbance to the soil mass compared to the displacement sand drains, and the speed and the simplicity of installation. Also feasible to installed in a non-vertical orientation. They have also outlined some technical advantages of PV drains compared to sand drains. They separate these advantages by sand drain type. There is displacement drain which displaces the soil as the drain is installed, and non-displacement which does not displace the soil during drain installation. So let us talk about displacement. Considerably less disturbance of cohesive soils during installation due to smaller physical displacement by mandrel and top, and typically static push rather than driving. Installation equipment user lighter, more maneuverable on site, do not require abundant source of water for jetting. Non-displacement do not require control, processing and disposal of jetting, spoil materials, fewer environmental control problems, field control and inspection not as critical, definite potential for cost economy, eliminate cost of sand, backfill of drain, quality control problems and related truck traffic, control and inspection requirement, and reduce to simplification of installation procedure. In general, there is a greater assurance of a permanent continuous vertical drainage path No discontinuities due to installation problems. PVDs can withstand considerable lateral displacement or buckling under vertical or horizontal soil movement. Faster rate of installation possible. Where very rapid consolidation is required, it is practical to install PVD at close spacing. PVD can be installed underwater in a non-vertical orientation more conveniently. Disadvantages are: if the compression layer is overlain by dense fields or sands, very stiff clay or other obstructions drain installation could require pre-drilling, jetting and or use of vibratory hammer, or may not be even feasible. Under such conditions, general pre-excavation can be performed if appropriate. Where sensitive soils are present or where stability is concerned, disturbance of the soil due to drain installation may not be tolerable. In such cases, sand drains installed by non-displacement method or an alternate soil improvement technique may be more practical.